This video will show you how to create this illustration using Illustrator and Photoshop in a beginner-friendly way. So this is the scene from Sketchup that I am going to export. So I'm going to select the hidden line style and I'm going to uncheck dashes and material transparency. After that, I'm going to save the scene in case I need to get back to it, and I'm going to save that as a new style just in case I need the colored version later. Make sure your camera is on 2-point perspective before you save the scene so that all of your lines are straight, and then let's go into File, Export, 2D Graphic, and then PDF. So once you open that file in Illustrator, you can see that it is a vector because it is PDF, which means that you can edit the lines and delete them. So the first thing I'm going to try to do is crop the image, and to do that I'm going to create a rectangle first and just use any color for now. And then I'm going to use the shape builder tool, which allows Illustrator to join shapes together. Join all of the shapes together until it's one big rectangle, and then you can delete. There are some lines that won't be able to join because they're not shapes, they're just lines. So using the direct selection tool, you can then put them back in place. Or you can use the scissors tool to make a cut to where you want to delete or divide the line. And then afterwards you can just easily delete them. The good thing about Illustrator is that the lines are very easily editable, so any extra lines here and there, I can just delete them. Any places that SketchUp was annoying and didn't make a face, I can then just draw and then fix that so that it's all perfect. But hey, if you know a simpler way to do the things that I'm sharing with you today, please leave them in the comments down below because I'm still learning Illustrator. If you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you would know that I am not very familiar with Illustrator, but since it's summer, I've taken this opportunity to learn Illustrator on Skillshare. It's honestly the best platform to learn different softwares, to learn any new skill, hence the name. They have so many different courses on design, business, and more. The course that I've been using to learn Illustrator is this course by Daniel Scott, who is an Adobe certified instructor. And as you can see, I've only watched just a few lessons, but I do feel comfortable to start creating on Illustrator. And the best part is Skillshare is so affordable because it is only under $10 a month, and you can watch this class and all of the other classes on Skillshare. And if you click the link in the description box, you can get 2-month free premium membership. So I would highly suggest you watch this class and the rest of Skillshare. So now let's get back into Illustrator. So now I'm gonna create a rectangle to go over the entire board, which kind of closes all of the lines together because I'm going to use the live paint bucket, which is just like Photoshop. You'll need to have closed shapes. You'll have this warning come up, which is really nothing. You just press OK. It's just basically telling you that you need to merge the live paint. Press OK and then go to the top and click that. Now add and color in each shapes using the color palette that I picked, which is mainly warm tones, really desaturated, and pastel colors. So if you want to rechange the colors of any area, instead of selecting one by one, you'll have to ungroup it a few times, and then you can select one of the areas that you want to change the color, go into select, same, and then same color fill. And as you can see, it selected all of the shapes with the same color. So then you can, using the eyedropper tool, you can pick another color and it will easily change for you. So after you've done coloring the buildings, you can then go and color in the background and any context. Another way to easily edit colors is if you select all by pressing Ctrl A, and then onto the right here you can see that there's an option called recolor. If you select that, it will allow you to edit each color separately and it will affect every shape on the drawing board. So as you can see, I've just made the blue a little bit lighter. So in Illustrator there's also layers, so I'm going to create a new layer for my background, which is just a plain color. So going back to the rectangle that we first created in the beginning, I'm going to select that and then change the fill color to blue. And as you can see, it moved to the back. So you can add more layers if you want to continue this illustration in Illustrator, such as trees and people. I'm going to change now slightly these colors to give a bit of definition because I've removed the stroke at this point to give it that illustration feel. And I'm going to also color in the window frames, because if you leave them uncolored, they're just going to be transparent shapes. So if you add any background texture, any background color, it'll be behind those frames as well. I'm going to select and copy and paste it in Photoshop, and I'm going to paste it as a smart object. So as you can see, it adds it to my Photoshop, high quality, all vector, and I'm also going to add the sky, which is really just a rectangle. Like, you can create that in Photoshop, but this is just another way. If you had, for example, a background texture on Illustrator, you can also just drag that. So now I'm just going to add a bit of texture, so I'm going to add some to the grass and some on the pathway using clip-in masks and pattern overlays. And then to select the areas in the building, I'm going to use the color range selection. If you click on the magic wand tool and then right click color range and then select a color, and it will select everything in the drawing in that color, so then you can easily add a texture to it. And the best thing is, because we've made it in Illustrator, the colors are clear, so color range should work perfectly. So I'm also going to add textures to any shadows and areas like that, and I'm going to set the blending mode to multiply. Now you can add people, which was kind of a difficult point for me because there's not a lot of people online, but you just have to dig through and find some high quality vector or line art people. So once you're done with that, group all of the people together and then apply a hue and saturation adjustment layer and then lower its saturation. I'm also going to add trees, and I looked through high and lows of the internet and I didn't find any vector trees that I liked that were free. So this is another project that I have to do, which is create my own line art drawings of trees. But for now, I've used these just regular old PNG trees and they work just well. At this point, I've tried to add plants because that's what you see in most illustration, but it didn't work for me. It didn't speak to me, so I'm going to delete those, so ignore them for now. But let's start adding some detail into the texture, into the grass texture. So I'm going to use a grass brush, and if you don't have that already installed on your computer, you can easily download those from Brusheezy and install it. And then I'm going to paint in the layer mask with white so that to reveal, and I'm just going to paint an edge so that it looks more organic and more fluffy. And I'm going to switch between black and white to get that blended. Again, I'm going to apply hues and saturation and lower the saturation of it. And then I'm going to add another grass texture, and this time I'm just going to hide everything first. And I'm just going to paint under these trees, and again switching between white and black to get this shadow or this area blended. I feel like this is the best part of the illustration, which is adding grass and blending textures. Do you agree? And I've also added a bicycle, some bushes, just to give more detail into the illustration. And I also added a brick texture to the building, which is just a brick image that I found online, and then I distorted, and then I applied a clip-in mask to the building. And I'm also going to add a bench, and with this illustration, perspective is not that big of a deal, but I tried to get it kind of at least to a point where it's not annoying me. And I feel like this is where the image started coming together, especially with those little tiny pigeons. And I went back and I added the plant. I decided, okay, one plant should be okay. I added this image and add texture or background between the buildings. And always use a clip-in mask, guys, so that you can easily adjust it later. And I wanted to add a texture to the water, but I didn't want to add the regular old water texture, so I decided to use watercolor brushes to add just a bit of texture, and then using another brush to kind of add a bit more depth into it. And then once everything is done, I'm going to press Ctrl Shift Alt and E to stamp all of the layers together and convert that to a smart object so that you can edit it later if you need to. Go into Filter, Camera Raw Filter. You can adjust any of these settings if you want to, but I was pretty happy with how it is. And I just went to Effects to add a bit of grain. So I always like to slide things all the way to the maximum to see the maximum effect, and then I can adjust it here and there. And now this is the final image. I'm pretty happy with how it came out. It's exactly how I imagined it to be, similar to those Pinteresty illustrations that I always see. So I'm pretty happy with how it came out. I hope you guys found this video helpful. Don't forget that now you can book a call with me on SuperPeer if you have any questions or if you would like any feedback or help on your project. You can also find additional services on my Fiverr page, which will all be linked in the description box. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you have not already. Let me know in the comments down below what is your workflow for creating illustrations, because I really wanted to create this whole illustration in Illustrator, but it was so difficult to just get things moving and people here, and there's so many layers. Like, it definitely has a learning curve, so that's why I used Photoshop. If you have any more tips, please leave them in the comments down below so that we can all benefit from you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Rasha Shururu, and I will see you next time.